Welcome everybody to Common Sense. We are back once again this week to talk about those things that I find intriguing, my thoughts and my reflections on what I like to call this my conversational space for logical things and reasoning and thinking. I took a week off, a well-deserved week off for fully resting, also because I was not feeling in the mood of recording any podcast. I could not have the proper time in our space, and overall I felt better set pressure, so I decided to relax for a while, and I'm guessing these upcoming months are gonna be more on the same way, which is not really consistent. I wish I could. I'll try, but this is not my main source of work, so I'll have to balance things out. But today we start directly into the podcast because I wanted to talk about a few things, and especially about the reasonings and thinkings that are going in my head. And each one that is mainly what you saw on the title, and for those listening, if you didn't read it, is like I'm for the first time ever, or for the first time in a while, obsessed with work, and really getting to a point that I don't know if it's good for me anymore or what it is. But I'll try to explain my situation right now and why I'm thinking, or why I think that I became obsessed with work. So for those of you that don't know anything about me professionally, I mainly work as the job title is a marketing business analyst, but what I mainly do is develop and implement the CRMs working side by side with the sales channels. So it's more on a sales support role, which is something that I enjoy, especially the developing of the CRM. Technically, like the rules of business and all of that, not so much the implementation, which is quite boring, like those teaching moments, like having to educate and properly build every single sales agent, which they tend to not be really smart or crisp. But what I'm trying to actually do, first of all, was get really, really good at designing the CRM. Like I became literally obsessed with the rules, the preparations on all the guidance and all the tools and all the thinkings that I need to give up to the developing team, like the engineer of CRMs, also to the team, so they have documents to validate and support my thinking and reasoning behind. And that was, I think, literally spending the whole weekend doing that. But the thing is, that part I enjoy, and it's a project that is really fun, but where I'm trying to go is not there. Like I'm not trying to stay there always. Like developing and helping grow a business in that side, that technical / data part is really intriguing and I like it. But I would like to do more of the thinking and reasoning, not so much of the support on day to day, which for me are quite repetitive, and that became boring. So what happened is, at the same time that I'm doing that, which is my primary key task, I'm diversifying all my time into also developing the reports for the channel. So that means that I not only build the platform and the CRM and the space to gather the data, I also study the databases, the models, and how the CRM is structured in the background, like the back office. So I understand where the data is gathered, how each field is named, how its value is stored, like all those things, and then get it into a Power BI model, data model that can be not also modeled by, but also paint on a dashboard. That actually implies learning database structure, learning a bit of SQL, and also mainly learning DAX as a programming language. And by the way, I came from a non-technical background, like I study marketing and sales, but I also enjoy a lot making reports and working with data. So my future goal is work as a data analyst. Not only data analyst, I would like to have my own role, which is a business data analyst, which means I work in the business to develop, to understand what we need, and then I translate that into a report. So basically I'm doing that. And I'm lucky and unlucky at the same time, because there is not a proper data scientist that can take all the reports that we need. And since I'm so close to business and so close with the developing and the initial stages of the project, I can take on all those tasks. And as long as I'm able to satisfy and fulfill the main ones, no one is gonna call me out for doing more or than what I'm asked. But that actually implies that if I have to work 8 hours a day, it means I literally have 8 hours a day on office on doing the sales support task and no time to develop reports, which means on my free time I'm also working. I'm also working on reports. And I don't know if I became obsessed with work or it's something that is the right call, because future-wise it means I will be able to go to a place that I am more comfortable with. Like reports, dashboard, back office stuff is something that I like for a majority of part, but I also like the front office talking, negotiations and all of that. So I'm trying to find a balance between those things and fearing a spot where I'm not obsessed with work. Like I literally wake up thinking of work, I go to sleep thinking of the reports, all day long. Like I'm training less because of that. I'm eating work because I'm more stressed, and I know that, but it's a fact. But it's going well. Like it's actually not, like it's actually turning okay, and I'm almost to the point that having the first fully well done dashboard where they have so many functionalities on Power BI, where I learn so many things. It's getting there. Like I think by Monday we'll have one and a duplicate of it for another channel. That would be impressive if I manage to have the design to be sick and things like that. So let's see and wait. But yeah, that obsession is something that concerns me. It's never ever I spend that much time doing that. But at the same point, I don't have anything else to do. Like I don't go out on nightclubs and I play video games but less and less because this PC allows. It's not really good for playing like fully proper. I'm not in the mood either for playing long hours, which is what I was used to do. So I'm all on that. Like I'm all on working on making dashboard, making Power BIs, which also shows that this side, this personal project that I have on the side going, which is content creation, I realize it's something that I don't like, and it's something that I don't like because for me the enjoyment is on talking, not on editing, not on spending time uploading. Like I literally would need a person to do this for me, and I can't. Obviously, I cannot get or pay anyone to do this with me. I wish this get to that point where I start like this is something I thought previously. I'm so much on working that if I gain money to keep talking, I would pay and waste on use all of that to people to help me to keep talking, because I enjoy talking and I have so many ideas, and this if this grows a little bit more and I have a focus on where to ask, question to solve, on all of that, and it's not a monologue with no one watching and no one listening, this would be 100% better because as a person I'm not the most creative, innovative. I will never have that idea that will break through history. But if that idea pops up inside in front of me, I'm the most persistent, consistent, like patient guy to achieve that, and I will make it 100%. This is why, like in a way, I will never stop talking in front of a camera or working in real life, because I know at some point I will be able to earn money and like. And I don't even need to earn money, like be considered to talk in front of people, like thousands of people, tens, 100, 1,000 people, I don't care, in front of people to give my reasoning, and it needs to be in another language. I need to work outside of Spain, I need to work outside of my common native language, and I wish I could do this in 3, because I speak French, not really well, like not well at all, better said. I don't speak even English good, but French is even worse, and Spanish, like it's my main language, and it's even hard for me to speak the language. So like this is the story of my life, but I will make it happen, and I don't know that for me because I make it, and for work it's more of the same thing. They gave me the impossible task of having a good CRM, and I made the impossible to make it happen, and I'm so close to validating all my points, and then with reports. This is the point. Like if I get to Monday morning and I sit down and I say, hey, I have these 2 things I need to solve you, and They are two amazing reports, and I think you will love it. Let me show you. I think I will get a really good point in front of the whole department, like ahead of everyone, of data modeling and like all of those things, which shows a lot, and I'll try to make it, even though it's not my role and I'm not supposed to make it. Like where I'm working now, it's not. I doubt will be forever. Like I'm a person who clearly thinks that nothing is forever, and I have many reasons online, and I have proofs even in my body. Like I have my own tattoo, which is not permanent ink, so I can delete it anytime I want, because for me nothing is permanent in life. So that simple reasoning solves me. Like this work is finished, so I'm trying to move to the next step as soon as possible. And I'm patient, as I said, but I'm also impatient. And I think it's because I compare myself to what I'm seeing, and despite being just 24, I feel like people under my age achieve much more. And because I work with people way older, I'm not there, but I'm with them. So that gap actually, it's really complicated, and that's a topic by its own. Like how to handle the thing that people under your age are way more successful, have done way more things, but at the same time you're with older people who have achieved less than you but more than you in other fields, and you are at the same level but not quite. It's its own mess, and it's complicated, and it's hard to handle. I work with older people, quite old, and there is a gap there on age and thinking and reasoning, that it's complex. And by its own, it's really complex. But well, we'll see how things goes. This whole podcast is about clearly not being sure about anything. Just that I'm a fucking obsessed working machine, and that I never stop until achieving what I want. And that's a slightly worrying thing. And that I enjoy talking. I was quite depressed, like sad. I play a Valorant rank game, and now I'm talking and I'm way happy. Like I have that adrenaline going up, and I wanna do way more things and a lot of things, and get out, talk to people, and like be super proactive. But I'm here. So the summary of the story is that I became obsessed with work because I have a clear objective of where I'm going, and even look at me, like I have a clear objective and I think it's a problem, and then there is people that don't have an objective and they think it's a problem. And this world is fascinating on its own, because we are each one of us own, and like look at me having my problems which are silly, and then others has the contrary part of when think, hey, this guy's a fucking crazy guy. He's having problems because he has a clear objective and I don't even have one. And people thinking that he want to achieve, like I want to achieve way more things faster, that I'm delusional, and I think people have achieved more. This duality is fascinating on its own, and that's it. Like for me, it's that, and I haven't spoken for a long time. I know this podcast. It's funny because these things keep getting shorter and shorter and shorter, because more and more often I have less topics to talk about. Like, what can I talk about if the only thing I do is work 8 hours a day, literally, and then train for a while, and after that I go out and like keep working. Like I work for 8 hours. I study French twice a week, and this month even less. Yeah, there's nothing to talk about. That I'm a fucking obsessed guy who is only worried about working more and more and more. But I'm happy. Don't get me wrong. And more I even build a group of people to get around, like do things, and it's great. I'm happy, but stressed. And podcasting alone, like a monologue, it's also hard. So go out, write me something, a comment, show me that you are alive, same as I am. But yeah, I became obsessed with work, but in a good way. I'll try to balance it out. By like holidays are close by, so we'll see how things go. And maybe we'll see each other soon. I don't know. Take care.